Welcome to the online session for library instruction for Chemical Engineering 1000. My name is Chapel Cowden. I am the Health and Science Librarian at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. You can reach me through email at chapel-cowden@utc.edu or via phone at 423-425-2672. Currently, the plans are for the library to be open to UTC students, staff, and faculty only for a limited number of hours, though we are not doing in-person consultations. I can, however, meet with you online. We can meet via Zoom, which is the software we're using now to record, or we can meet using email. So why are you listening to this recording? Why does searching for information to support your research matter? It is as important to develop good literature practices for your work as it is to improve your experimental and technical research skills. This is a quote from Chemical Information for Chemists, a primer, and I believe it speaks really well to why it is you need to support your research with literature. So you have an assignment coming up that Dr. Harris has either given to you, discussed with you, or will be discussing with you in the near future, where you will be researching a chemical process. You'll draw a process flowchart and discuss the layout of the process. You'll detail raw materials, resulting products, and potential applications. And you'll discuss unit operations that make up the process and how those operations work. In this session, we're going to discuss how the library can offer you help virtually, how you select a topic for this upcoming assignment, how you might use Google to find information about the chemical process, what are patents and how can I use them for this assignment, and finally, how do I find and utilize library databases. There's an accompanying worksheet that goes along with this instruction session that Dr. Harris will provide for you. The worksheet reiterates some of the things that are in the recording, but also allows you time and space to practice some of these things on your own as they relate to your own assignment. The first aspect of your assignment is selecting a topic. And believe it or not, selecting a topic is research. And sometimes it's the most challenging part of your research, having to decide what you want to write about and what you want to commit to. So you need to select a topic that is interesting to you. Dr. Harris does not want you to pick something that you find boring. He wants you to have an interest in the topic you pick. And there are so many potential topics. So just to name a few, you could talk about the flu vaccine, CBD oil, biodiesel, beer production, anything that has a process. So there are two main places that I would recommend for you to look in order to select a topic. Science Daily is a science news aggregator where you might be able to find topics of interest. And Chemical and Engineering News, which is what we call a trade journal that you can access online. You can also just use Google, or you may already have something in mind. But let's take just a moment to look at these two resources and see how you might use them to create or to select a topic. So here is Google. We are going to look for Science Daily. So once you get to Science Daily, there are many selections and sub areas of science and health that you could choose. You can look through all different kinds of things, but the one that I think is probably most closely aligned with your discipline is chemistry. So under tech, we have chemistry. Then you will see some of the newest research related to different chemical processes and reactions. Think all BPA-free products are safe? Not so fast, scientists warn. So there's a process right there. You might look at how BPA free plastics are created. So just take a few minutes on your own and look through Science Daily and see if there's anything that speaks to you topic-wise. Okay, so let's now try chemical and engineering news. Chemical and engineering news is a little more challenging to navigate. There's quite a lot of information here. This is mostly news related. I would suggest you choose topics, and then you could select a topic within. So perhaps we want materials, though we could choose pharmaceuticals or any other subdiscipline. All right, so here's one about chemistry and pictures, baby yotamine B. So we could click on that and see if there's something there. Initially, as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, maybe I could look into the process by which the filaments for 3D printing are created. So again, use this the same way you would use Science Daily. Just scroll through and see if there's anything of interest to you. All right. Give me just a moment to get back to my PowerPoint. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of time on Google searching. So most of you have used Google fairly frequently. Google is sometimes hard to find technical information in. So our background research for any project usually begins in Google. I would never send you to one of the databases to start your research. I'd always send you to Google, or almost always. So what we're going to employ in Google is called a site search. So this will be recorded in the recording of this session. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this screen and go out to Google and do some live searching. All right, so if we go back to Google, we could search for CBD oil, which is a popular topic for this assignment. And we get lots of information about CBD oil. So here's something from Healthline on the 7 benefits and uses. Here's something else on the uses. We've got places you can buy it, WebMD. But we don't really have any technical information about CBD oil, and that's really the information that we need. So a topic as hot as this is going to give you, just newsworthy stuff, basically. We're going to employ that site search. So I'm going to type in the word site and a colon. And here I'm going to put the ending of a URL. Typically, websites we know to be more credible are government websites and education websites. Those are also the websites that will likely have more technical information. So site colon, let's ask for government information. So I'm putting in .gov because I want all of my websites to end with .gov. And then I have my search term, CBD oil. Now you can see what it's done is it's taken my search for CBD oil and it's gotten rid of all those kind of random sites, and it's given me only sites from government institutions. So things from the Office of Drug Policy, supplementation. Now I might alter this search a little bit and say CBD oil production. Now we're cooking. FDA regulations on cannabis and cannabis-derived products. That one's a little bit more general, but these are all looking at farm bills. So we're looking at the production of hemp and derivatives. Here from Tennessee.gov, hemp and CBD oil extraction. More information from the Office of Drug Policy, et cetera, et cetera. So you're going to get more technical information that's usable. Now we could go up here and change our .gov to .edu and get more good stuff. So now we're getting things from universities, and oftentimes universities are responsible for extension agencies. So here's one on CBD hemp production from an extension office. There's going to be lots and lots of good information here. Hemp processing and analysis. So don't forget to employ that site search. And there's a section on your worksheet where you can apply the site search and find some information that's going to be useful to you. Okay. So we stop sharing for a moment, and we're going to go back to our PowerPoint. So next we're going to turn our attention to Google patent searches. So a patent grants property rights to an inventor. Many, many, many different types of things can be patented. And so patents are generally rich documents that detail a process or machines, plants, designs, or any new and useful improvement that can be patented. Chemical processes are very frequently patented. So Google Patents is an excellent way. Hang on just a second. I obviously can't talk and share my screen at the same time. Okay. Google Patents is an excellent way to locate patents. So to find Google Patents, you can just type in Google Patents, the first thing that comes up. You can do an advanced search or you can do a regular search. I think a regular search will be beneficial for most of you. So CBD oil, and I could say production, but let me just do CBD oil to start with. Okay, so the first one we have is the process for generating hemp oil with a high cannabidiol, whatever comes next. So let's click on that. And patent documents tend to be very rich. So you can see the inventor, you can see where the application holds, you can see an abstract and information about the patent. And then you often have really great images. So here's a really great image on schematic of two-stage short path distillation plant. We also will probably have something related to the distillation. We also have the chemical composition. So this is the kind of thing that you're going to be using when you're drawing that process flow chart as well. So patents are really, really important to this work. Okay, there's also a section in your worksheet where you can do a patent search and record any information that you find. You can download a PDF of what you find here and save that. It's always really easy to get back to Google Patents though. All right, so now that we've looked at Google, let's turn our attention to library resources. Library resources are generally going to be online. We do have a few different things in our reference book collection that may be useful, but we don't know yet if we're going to be able to allow students to access those or if we're going to scan them in. So if you have questions or if you're not finding what you need at any point, you can just send me an email and ask. So on the library's homepage, if you haven't seen our homepage before, we have lots of information. One really important thing on our front page is how to get help. Up on the top level here, you can see help. If you click on that, it takes you to a page where you can receive help in lots of different ways. It gives you the methods by which you can contact us. Our chat service will be here. And even though the library may at different times be closed, as long as we are staffed, which I believe is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 7:45 a.m. to about 9 p.m. every night, you can send a chat and ask questions. There's also information on citing sources, on the writing center, the studio, and there will be individualized information for what types of help are available from these places as we move forward during the suspension of face-to-face classes. All right, so you've probably used the library's website before. The quick search is the obvious place to search. I will say, though it can give you some background information, it's probably not going to be a great place for you to find information for this particular assignment. I want you to know it's there, but you don't necessarily need to use it. Down below the quick search box, we have databases. That's a list of all of our databases. We have a lot, so I wouldn't expect you to know what database you need right off the bat. Research guides. If we open the research guides, you have a research guide for every discipline on campus. Now, a research guide helps to steer you to the appropriate databases for disciplinary research. So for y'all, it's going to be engineering. When I open the engineering research guide, I get the best databases for research and engineering. The problem is we really don't have these sectioned off into the different engineering subdisciplines. So mechanical engineering, construction management, electrical engineering, chemical engineering. So for chemical engineers, the best databases for you are Web of Science, which is a multidisciplinary database with lots of information. The Materials Science and Engineering database may be good for you as well. And then there's a database called SciFinder. SciFinder is a chemical information database. It's got chemical substances, reactions, and lots of chemical literature in it as well. One thing you need to know about SciFinder is you need to register for it first. It's free to you, but you do have to create an account. It may not be one that you use for this assignment, but you will likely be using it moving forward. That is all I have for you in this recorded session. Again, if you have questions, you may contact me at any time. My name is Chapel, C-H-A-P-E-L, Cowden, C-O-W-D-E-N. You can refer back to the start of this recording for my contact information, or you may ask your professor. Good luck with your research.